here's a clip of Donald Trump talking up the poll results where he's creaming DeSantis.
You'll see some numbers that are incredible. You'll see some numbers that are, we just had one today, 69 for Trump, and I think 18 or 19 for the sanctimonious. Yeah, we were at 69 and one today.
Yeah, he really enjoys that number. All right, so pop quiz. What polling organization do you suppose Donald Trump is cited in that tweet? Is that like Gallup or like Rasmussen? Like who do you suppose conducted that poll that is cited?
I don't know.
I know, so I can't say.
Yeah.
It's I guess like think of the dumbest source you could imagine of a poll, and it would be that.
I don't know. There are some dark recesses that you could draw data from the internet on. I have no idea. Just end the suspense. I gotta know.
This was a what Trump is referencing there is a Twitter poll conducted by a Twitter user who goes by the nom de plume Cat Turd.
Oh, it's Cat Turd, eh? Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, just I don't want to take a beat, for the man who was president of the United States for 4 years, citing a Twitter poll by Cat Turd as if it's like a real poll. So I was thinking about this, because I was interacting with a Cat Turd tweet earlier. Yeah, there we go.
Just seeing that, it's just I'll never be able to get that out of my head.
Yeah, new poll just out. This is Trump's Truth Social post, and he has a fucking screenshot where you can clearly see Cat Turd. Who will you be voting for in the 2024 Republican primary? Trump 69, DeSantis 24, other 7. I was quote tweeting Cat Turd this morning, and somebody on Twitter was like, not unreasonably, why are you engaging with this person? He's obviously an idiot. And so I did to point out, like, okay, whatever we may think of Mr. Turd, the man's got 1.6 million Twitter followers, so some reason to engage with it. But he tweeted this out. This is what I was responding to this morning. It says, why is the left so normal phobic, family phobic, and traditional phobic? Why do they hate 95% of America? And it's a lot you could say about this, but
there's a dissertation's worth of fucking cultural analyses that could be drawn from that tweet.
I just want to say, though, like, before saying anything more substantive, maybe, or more specific, we do have the author of a book on postmodern conservatism with us, and there's maybe something to be said here about the fact that this 1.6 million follower Twitter account that is the defender of tradition and family and normalcy is called Cat Turd.
Yeah, I know. That was an irony that I appreciated today, right? Where I'm like, Cat Turd is telling us that we need to stick up for good old-fashioned family values and a normal world, everybody. So fucking pay attention to Cat Turd, and everybody just try to roll things back to the 1950s. Like, it's so bizarre that you couldn't even script this shit any longer. It just has to emerge out of real life because no author could conceive of it.
Yeah. I mean, I will just, look, I'm just going to take 30 seconds to earnestly argue with Cat Turd, which is a life choice you can make. But
yeah. I do that every time I clean out a litter box.
There you go. Yeah. Like, there is something amazing about this. That, you know, the thing about family phobia, like, just 30 seconds on this, because, like, last I checked, the left was spending a fair amount of time advocating for universal pre-K. And, you know, we're actually trying, you know, I mean, to, you know, redistribute wealth in such a way that, you know, people would, you know, would have people who want to get married, have kids, start families, can actually do those things without, you know, like, I mean, look, there are a number of non-Cat Turd polls that show that, like, consistently. I wrote about this, Jack, and then, I don't know, back in like December, that consistently, if you look at any kind of polling data on people who aren't married but want to be married, like they're, you know, they're in a relationship but they're not married, or people who are who maybe are married but like want kids but don't have kids, like, and you ask what are the reasons why you and your partner have to take this step, like literally out of like the top 10 reasons, like at least 8 or 9 of them are always financial, right? That it's fucking expensive to do that. Like, kids cost a lot of money. And, you know, I would just, I mean, even in terms of like the kind of, you know, whatever, like obviously hazily remembered like caricature of like the 1950s, you know, with the white picket fences and all that stuff. Like, to the extent that there is truth in that historical memory, like, the fucking white picket fences were essentially built with, you know, the wages that were won by industrial unions and sit down strikes in the 1930s. I mean, that's like the fact that you could have like, you know, single income, you know, households, and, you know, and actually have enough money to securely do all of this, right? I mean, like, you don't get that without the rise of the labor movement, you know, that to like deliver those kinds of wages. Like, it just, you know, I mean, I know that part of what that means is the family phobic and all that stuff is like, you know, it's like, you're not gonna, you know, the left is bad because it doesn't want to like force people into, you know, traditional family arrangements. We're fine, you know, have a broader definition of what can count as a family. We're fine with whatever people want to do and whatever. But it's like, you know, I just like, you know, there's no, I mean, you want to talk about normal, right? Like, if you think about family related concerns, like, there is no remotely normal straight person who worries more about the existence of gay people than they do about like how they themselves could afford to start a family. And like,
I mean, I know gay people who think less about gay sex than Ron DeSantis does, like substantially less. So,
I mean, you know, there is an obvious point to be made here, but I'm going to tastefully not make it. How those categories might or might not relate to each other, I don't know. You know, everybody can use their best judgment, but the who knows? But yeah, right? It's like, no, you're not, like, if you actually care about families in any meaningful sense, right? You know, then you, like, you know, I don't know, preventing Disney from being woke isn't actually going to do anything to like help people who like actually want to start families. Like, that's not how, like, the one has literally nothing to do with the other. I mean, the economic property platform of the left would actually help with that.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is that actually, if you wanted to see more families being formed, that actually endorsing something like gay marriage and gay adoption would be a very good thing that you should get behind, right? But, you know, beyond that, I agree with everything that you said. I'd also add that the GI Bill introduced by FDR and Truman was really important in helping to generate that kind of Eisenhower nostalgia boom that so many of us go back to. But, on the other point about normalcy, right? I kind of share some aspects of Adorno's criticism of common sense. I think that it is true that common sense can very often have a reactionary kind of connotation, even though I do wish that more people actually did try to write plainly. How you kind of reconcile that with being critical, we can talk about that another day. But I'd have to say that if we were looking at who seems like the more abnormal ones right now, let's flash back to 2020, where Cat Turd's preferred politician was in power. I have to say, I didn't think I would ever fucking be in a position where I was seriously having to talk about whether or not the president of the United States advised people to inject themselves with fucking bleach. And that was just a normal weekday in a week that was filled with gems like that. So I don't really know that they should be sitting there talking about how the GOP or American conservatism is the party of normality. I think that if you're going to do that, then maybe don't rally behind a person who is probably best known right now for sleeping with a porn star when his third wife was pregnant with his kid. Just a bit of a bizarre choice to make, right?
Well, to be fair, I think he said you should consult with a doctor. Like, you should check with the doctor. You should just go straight to inject yourself. I mean, he's not crazy.
He's not crazy. He was suggesting you check with the doctor to find out about injecting yourself with bleach.
There's sorry, go ahead.
No, this is what I wanted to say to bring it back to this. I'm like, the thing about the Stormy Daniels end that we seem to be moving towards right now is some people on right-wing Twitter are like, he could never do that because that is so contrary to his character, and that is not the man that I voted for. And I'm like, no, if I were a fucking novelist and I was plotting out a character like Trump's life, and I was trying to think, how do I end this shit in a way that makes the best of everything that comes before, thinking this man will finally be brought down by a seedy affair that he had in the mid-2000s with a porn star. That is the way to end this. That is the appropriate thematic arc for this mythology, right? And that's what they bought into as normal, right?
There is. I'm usually somebody who always thinks like. I usually hate it when people like assume that like people really don't, secretly don't think the thing they say they think, whatever. It's like, no, people really just disagree with you. Like, you got to accept that, whatever. But it's like,
oh yeah, definitely.
In this case, I don't believe that anyone anywhere in the world seriously doubts that Trump did. Of course, Trump did that. Like,
yeah,
it's like I don't believe in the existence of a person who's like, no, Donald J. Trump would never. Like,
he would never violate the sanctity of his third marriage to do such a thing.
I just want to say real quick too. There's a Rolling Stones profile of Rolling Stone. Excuse me. We're talking about the Stones, but Rolling Stone profile of the man that is almost definitely Cat Turd, and let's just say his life does not seem to match a picture of like Norman Rockwell family values. Now he didn't do anything awful. He just 2 or 3 times divorced. The one detail I picked out here is that he fronted a rock band with an extremely silly fruit-themed name that was on the radar of the Dust Brothers, who worked on Beck's Odelay. Nice. And then he married a dancer. So, I mean, listen, cool stuff. I just, I don't know.
I mean, that actually makes me respect him a bit more, if anything.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like he now he lives alone on a ranch and, yeah, tweets mostly scatological jokes from a Cat Turd. I mean, it's an interesting, like you said, novelistically, it's interesting. It's an interesting character, but to say that this is like the paragon of normalcy is very
Cat
strange.
Turd may not be the defender of tradition. You have been watching free public content from Give Them an Argument. To access every single episode of the show, the main show on Monday nights,
all of the streams, all of the debate breakdowns, all of the patron-exclusive post-games on Monday nights, all of the patron-exclusive bonus episodes every week, and much, much more, go to patreon.com/Ben Burgis. I cannot resist ending this with, don't be foolish.